Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Stahl Studio. I have my friend, Little Fit Meg,
Hello,
with me today.
guys. How's it going?
Good. I'm so glad to have you on,
I
Meg.
know. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited and ready to be put on the spot.
So I came across Meg on Instagram. She's an influencer within the fitness community, and she has a similar story to mine where she kind of decided to drop everything and do something new and kind of follow her passion. She was from Virginia, and she, drove across country to Los Angeles, California, and is absolutely loving it.
Absolutely. It's definitely been a roller coaster, but, a good roller coaster.
Right? That's what I always say. Like, life is a roller coaster
It is.
from college.
Might as well ride it.
Yeah. She's like going to Six Flags tomorrow. But so tell me, what were you doing at the time back on the East Coast before you made that move?
So believe it or not, I was actually a second grade teacher. So I was teaching little kids, 7 years old, and I decided to do a bikini competition. This was about 2 years ago. And when I did my bikini competition, I was like, I might as well just start documenting this and sharing my journey, doing it on social media. So I did, and it was so funny though, because at the time too, I changed my name so like no one could find me, because I was like terrified. I was like, a teacher or parent is gonna find me and I'm gonna be fucked. So I changed my name. I even when I competed, I didn't even put my real name in the show because I didn't want anyone to find me.
No way.
Why
was that?
Because as a teacher, I can't be showing off my body.
Yeah, I guess
it'd be a little awkward,
Hey, I guess the principal of the school wasn't too cool.
But so really from there, my Instagram just took off. I feel like just showing off my journey, me getting shredded, people love that, and people started to follow me, and that started growing. And I decided to get my NASM certification and just start taking on a few clients. And it was just a side gig on top of teaching full time. But things just really took off, and I realized wow, I actually I'm good at this, I'm helping people, I'm applying all my teaching skills to coaching, and I loved it. And then I realized too that my mind was not on teaching. My mind was on coaching and on, fitness and just a whole different life. And so that was when I decided that I was I want to really pursue this whole coaching thing more, almost full time. And I also had just always dreamed of moving across country, and I was turning 27. I swear I had this life epiphany. I was if I don't move now, I'm never gonna go. And this has always been my dream. So I was just I
feel you gotta
go. I gotta do it.
Especially in the 20s,
Yeah. I was before I, married, settled down or anything, I was I have to go after my dreams and just chase them head on. And it's pretty much what I did. I decided to just move across country and came out here with no job, no place to live. I had no idea what I was going to do.
Wow.
I started applying for teaching jobs when I first got out here, and then I was I remember walking in with my resume and being this is not what I want to do.
Right.
What am I doing?
Walking back into the school and seeing the kids again, you're no, that's why I left.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that's when I decided to get serious on my, my coaching, on my whole social media, and being an influencer and all that. And it has been an incredible journey. I mean, it really has.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you got out here, what was I know you were coaching, but what kind of kept you on your feet because you didn't get that job at the school? Yeah,
so I moved out here, thankfully I had a good amount of money saved up, so I wasn't, freaking out necessarily because I had some back money, but I did start working part-time in a jewelry store in Abbot Kinney called Gloriana. Nice. Really cute jewelry. My best friend's best friend was the manager, so she, a good friend was my manager. It was awesome. It was really fun.
Yeah.
No complaints. The store is absolutely beautiful.
Probably could get a little bit of work done.
Yeah, I did. I had my laptop there. It's kind of working.
Nice.
I'm working, it worked out. But I will say, when I finally quit there, that's when I forced myself to be okay, make this full time. You've got to, put all of you in it. And I feel once you do, you finally put all of yourself into something, that's when things really pick up and take off.
Yeah. I hear you 100% with that, because sometimes in California, like you said, can be a roller coaster, and you might be riding a wave that's going down, and you're like, oh, like
no,
I just missed out on that client. Oh, had I
Yeah.
not been like, so
Yeah.
you definitely have to be dialed in and 100% focused on that, number one goal,
100%.
passion, because like I always say, you can't have a plan B. That's just a distraction.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. When I finally did quit the jewelry store and was like, I'm going to focus hard, and I started really like manifesting my dreams and telling myself like, I'm going to be here, I'm going to do this, like setting those month goals, those 3 months goals, that's when things really picked up. And I'm happy to say that I'm finally making more than I was teaching. I'm almost
Look at you.
like double the income, like
Right.
really making it work now. And
And
it's
it
just
hasn't
like,
even been a year, right?
no, it hasn't. It's
Wow.
crazy. But it's such a good feeling knowing that like I did this, and it's something I always wanted. And
Right,
here
that's
I am.
such huge inspiration, literally,
Yeah.
for anyone out there.
Anyone
that
can do it.
You can drop the situation you're in at any point in time, even without having a job lined up, and make that passion that you're going for work, because that's what
Absolutely.
you're driven to do.
And I think if I could go back and tell myself, it would be to not be so scared and just go for it. Because I had my parents on one end just like being like, what the hell are you doing? You got your master's in teaching. Like not only did I have my undergrad, I also have my master's in teaching. I spent, 5 years getting this education degree. I had a great job teaching, and, I had a lot going for me with that end. And so they were like, what the hell? Like, no, you're not doing this. Even my boyfriend was like, no, like, why would you leave? Like, what? But I'm so proud of myself that I was like, no, this is what I want. And like, I'm going to make it happen, even though I have no idea how the heck I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, and you're doing it, man.
Yeah.
That should be just...
And I know it's scary for someone out there listening, being like, I want this, I want that. Like, I know it's so scary to just go for it, but I promise you, when you do, it is so worth it.
Right? She might just be that spark you need to make that happen.
I hope so.
Seriously, I was able to make it happen. I've been out here 4 years, and generally they say that first year is, I think 80 or 90% of people who come to LA can't make it past their first year.
Yeah.
MEGS, flying through that first year, just killing it. So we're two examples of people who have made it happen here in LA, and it's a tough city, between, just even the commutes, the extra
Traffic,
expenses.
oh my God.
It's a challenge, but you gotta work through it. I just about paid down all my student loans, and
Heck yeah!
it's like, woo! It's gonna be such a good feeling when I don't have to put, say, X, Y, and Z into my student loans. I can now put it into my business. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm like basically telling people, like, you better look out, because you don't even know. You don't even know what's coming. I'm coming, man. All those guys at the top. There's this site, clear.com, and they had me ranked in the top 1% among the fitness community as far as influencers on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I want to be like top 1%, say, of like all of Instagram.
Yeah.
Or like top 1% of the 1% of the fitness influencers,
Yeah. Shoot big. I love it.
Exactly. So you got into that first show there in when you were teaching in Virginia. Mm-hmm. Had you been into sports growing up?
Yes, absolutely. So I have 3 brothers and the only girl. So my dad was really...
Are you the baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
My dad, really?
Yeah.
You have siblings?
Yeah, I have all like older brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was really always like, you have to play a sport. And I always wanted to be like a cheerleader, a dancer. And he was like, no, it's not a sport. Like, you have to play a sport. So grew up playing sports, always super active.
We're kind of jealous of the cheerleaders because
I was always like, "What? I'm blonde, like I can do it. Come on!" But he was like, "No, like you need to do sports and all this stuff." So, yeah, I grew up being super active, and I'm not gonna lie, I went to college. I was a huge partier.
I hear me
got
too.
myself into some alcohol and drugs.
Oh man!
Let's just put it that way. I did not work out at all in college. I didn't really even find fitness until my sister-in-law, well, she was my brother's girlfriend at the time, but I remember seeing her butt. It was just like goals, like these booty goals, and I'm like, wow, I'm like flat as a board there. Like, how do I get my butt like that? And she put me on my first workout plan, and I saw her compete in a show, and so I remember being like, I'm gonna do that one day. And then I decided one day, even though when I did my first show, I wasn't even fit. Like, I had zero idea what I was getting myself into. I was just like, I'm gonna do a fitness show now. And
I always tell people, like, just get up on stage, because, like, for me, I came into my first show with a good physique, but it was such a new experience. Like, I got first call outs, but they gave me like 6th place and I didn't get a trophy. And I was just thinking, had I done a show, because in my opinion, I probably had the top 1 or 2 physique in my class that show, and I just like kind of looked like not a fool posing. Like, the pictures they got of me, you know, they looked good, but you know, going through the routine, being smooth and aesthetic, I was self-coached, so I didn't have a coach's eye like telling me what to do. But yeah, had I got on a show earlier, I would have had just enough experience I needed to place in that, you know, show that, say, maybe mattered a little bit more.
Yeah, so. It's such a, competing is such a crazy experience. It's one of those roller coasters that it's like fun. You got your highs, you got your lows, and you're just working towards the end, and it's a cool goal to have. For sure.
I was thinking about doing one this year. We'll see. You know, I only need like maybe 4 to 6 weeks to dial in. So I might even just be like sporadic or spontaneous one day and sign up. We'll see.
Heck it. Why not? Someone told me too that they do something here on like Muscle Beach.
Zach.
I think he was telling me that.
He does like, I think, all 3 of them.
In July, maybe?
Well, there's one each of the major holidays. So you got Memorial Day weekend, July 4th.
I want to do it. Fuck yeah. I should.
I did the...
I should be in really good shape still, so...
Yeah, I did one of them and got a trophy sitting around everything.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I got first place in
Heck yeah.
like light heavyweight or something.
Yeah. Fun.
I did.
Awesome.
I kind of stepped outside my comfort zone from men's physique into open bodybuilding, and I had like the little Speedo type trunks on, and it was fun. It was really funny too. Yeah. So that was a good experience. So, okay, tell me a little bit more about your business out here. You know, if any ladies are watching this, you know, why should they, you know, say hit you up, contact you as a potential coach?
Yeah, so I have my business called the Positively Fit Community, and I think what makes me stand out a little bit from other coaches is I'm huge on mindset, which I know you are too. Really just believe, you know, it all starts within you. So I feel like if you're not taking care of everything on the inside, you're never going to see the results on your outside. And not only do I work to help my clients like look their best, but I help them feel their absolute best as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it all starts with, you know, what's inside. And if you have someone motivational and positive like Meg, I mean, I follow her on IG, and like she'll like wake up like, "Good morning, sunshine."
I always say that.
she will lift you up, man. She will lift you up.
All about those positive vibes and just living life to the absolute fullest, because honestly, life is short and you have no idea when it's going to be taken, and I don't want to ever, you know, go to bed at night being like, I didn't make the most out of that day.
Right, seriously. Now, what about, like, say, training calls? Do you call your clients every week? Is it bi-weekly?
Yeah, so I actually just did a Spring into Health challenge, and I got 70 girls in the challenge, and that is, you know, not as much contact, I would say. We have a Facebook group, and the Facebook group is freaking lit. Everyone's posting there, like, every day. Like,
that's awesome.
I've been posting a lot of macro hacks, because I'm huge about food. Macro hacks, like positivity, motivation, but everything's, like, kind of through the Facebook group, so not as much one-on-one support. But then I also have 30 online clients that are one-on-one. I use Trainer Eyes. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all. But that's software I use, basically an app they have. And with that, we do weekly check-ins, and I pretty much do weekly to bi-weekly phone calls with them.
And will they upload, like, say, new progress pics on
the
app?
Yeah. They'll be able to upload their body stats, progress pics. It syncs with MyFitnessPal. So I have all my clients tracking macros, so I can see their tracking.
Nice.
There's video tutorials for every exercise. I mean,
and what if
literally anything they need is right there.
Wow. Now, if they're following your diet plan, pretty much to a T, maybe they have a food scale to weigh stuff out, do they still, like, will they still count? Because I've had clients in the past who, not that they're lazy, but they kind of get it, and I guess at that point they don't.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, I don't think that you necessarily have to track forever by all means, and I don't want anyone to think they need to freaking weigh their food out every single time. Especially, I have some girls in college, and I'm like, it's not realistic for them to track every day. So basically, I tell my clients, even if you track 1 or 2 days out of the week, those 1 or 2 days, you're going to learn so much about portion sizes, so much about food in general, and how to properly fuel your body. So the days you aren't tracking, you're going to be more educated and aware to make better choices.
Yeah, and it's so easy just to then be able to eye things up once you have like
a good knowledge.
Yeah, good knowledge. For me and most of my clients, it seems like after they've done it for say 2 weeks, that's when they start to dial in with everything.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. And I mean, no one wants to freaking track their food for the rest of their life, and I would never expect anyone to do that. But I do think it is so beneficial for everyone to at least try it out for a couple days, maybe like 2 weeks, like you said, because honestly, most people have zero idea of what is in the food that they're eating. You know, they have no idea that an apple can be 25 to 30 grams of carbs. So they don't know that. And they don't know what 4 ounces of protein looks like. And I feel like, at least for women, a lot of women are under eating protein. So that's something I really am like, weigh out your protein and see what 4 or 5 ounces actually looks like.
One for me, actually, believe it or not,
was peanut butter.
Oh, God.
I hadn't been tracking in a while, right? And I'm like, yo, I'm having a harder time than normal, like getting to that lower body fat. And I'm like, I think I'm putting too much peanut butter in my shakes and my oatmeal. So I took a tablespoon out, scooped it up, and I was like, that's only a tablespoon?
If you've never measured peanut butter, oh my goodness. You better do that.
You're in for a surprise.
Absolutely.
So I think a serving size of peanut butter is like 2 tablespoons, and I was probably having a good, from tablespoon measurements, probably a good 5 to 6 tablespoons. So that's that's like 2.5 to 3 servings.
Yeah, that's like your entire fat for the day.
So like, hey, even someone with 12 years experience can kind of like fall off and like get that, like, I mean, everyone loves peanut butter, so hey, I was like splurging a little bit.
Of all things to eat, I think that is an easy thing to overeat.
I hear you, man. So how do you like living out here in LA, more or less like the lifestyle side of things? Like for me, I was just like super drawn to like all the healthy places we have to eat, like be on the East Coast, Virginia, maybe more southern food. Like there weren't many places I could go out to eat. I mean, like around Philly, it's just like, especially my hometown, like we probably had at least like 12 pizza places. Like it's insane, but the pizza's way better in Philly.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the number one thing that brought me out here was the weather and the sunshine. I'm all about that sunshine. I feel like too, like the sunshine, it makes people more positive. It makes people happier. Like they're in a better mood. Overall, their like quality of life is just better.
I was having a real bad day about a month ago, and I was just like, I need to go get some cardio in. So I threw on my rollerblades and went to the end of the Venice pier, and by the time I got back, I was feeling like a new man.
Absolutely. The sun will do that for you. But I think, the people, the sunshine, just in the out here, like everyone is so active, and you see so many fitness people, and instead for me, I didn't look at it as competition. Instead, I looked at it as like the benefits of it, that I could learn from these people who were already doing it, see what they're doing well, and just be able to connect with them. And that has also really allowed me to grow my business for sure.
And like, you being brand new out here, I mean, I, had like throughout my years here, just been networking, especially at Gold's Gym. It's so easy.
Oh yeah.
To just, like, meet all
walk in and be like, hey.
So it's like from the start, you're like plugged in, as long as like you're social and can talk to people, and hey, maybe that's a skill you need to develop, but it's definitely like something that I think anyone can overcome. It's just like,
especially when you put yourself in that environment. I gotta talk to people. I gotta do it. Especially out here, because people will talk to you. People are really friendly and open, and they'll start a conversation. So.
And I love like the diversity, because I meet people from all over the place. So I get unique perspectives on different countries, different states, and it's amazing. Like I don't know. I tell my friends all the time, I feel like I'm living in like a fantasy world.
Right. But back to the food thing, I will say, so I'm lactose intolerant, and I pretty much stay away from gluten, and it's just so nice out here because there's so many options for that. We don't have that. We don't have that back home.
I actually was having, and this was more or less like my bodybuilding routines, which I'm kind of back on now. But I was having like inflammation in my, I think one or two of my shoulders, my wrist. So I went from power bodybuilding to just bodybuilding because my wrist was just like, well, from the heavy weights from benching and the like, then trying to put on size for my show, it was just nagging all these smaller lifts. I was just like, I gave that up, and now I'm finally getting back into it. But during that time, I had cut down on gluten, and I'm still like, I won't buy like a loaf of bread at the supermarket anymore. I won't buy that stuff filled with gluten, and I haven't had any issues really arise. So I would say number one thing, cut out gluten. She's lactose intolerant, so she's already cutting out dairy, but dairy is the number 2 leading cause of inflammation.
Yeah.
And inflammation isn't just like shoulders and
gut.
And it's gut, your whole intestines, so, and brain. You can have inflammation in your brain, and that might even cause a headache. I'm not sure.
For sure. Women, I know, especially, really always come to me like, I'm so bloated. Like, the amount of times I get told that I'm bloated, and I'm always that's the first things I say is like, well, how much dairy are you eating? Because, I guarantee if you cut back on that dairy, you're not going to be as bloated. And I think it's the same with gluten, too.
Yeah, definitely. Now, you said you were a big-time partier over there in Virginia. What school was it?
Radford University. Small school by Virginia Tech.
Did you ever come up to Penn State to party?
I didn't, but I heard about it. I heard it was a big party school, too.
Yeah, pretty crazy up there.
Yes.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
So how often are you getting to the Mecca to train?
I would say about 5 days a week, most of the time.
Oh, so
there a lot.
It is your main gym.
Yeah, it's the main gym.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to, when I first came out here, I was able to do that like gold ambassadorship thing.
Oh, okay. I saw Brian doing that.
Yeah, but I kind of sucked at it.
They give you a lot of work, right?
Yeah, I thought I could just like go to the gym and be like, oh yeah, I'm filming here. I tagged them in my location, but they were like, no, you have to do like our advertisement, like do their like challenges that they're doing, and I was like, ugh, I don't want.
Were they like at least like willing to pay, or was it?
They were willing to pay for my gym membership, and so that's why.
If it was like a little more, but like for a post, like I mean, the membership, at least mine, is only $50 a month. It's like, come on, you gotta.
Mine's $70, but
you gotta hook us up with a little.
Okay.
It's going up to $70.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was able to, I actually just signed a membership. This is terrible, but I just signed a membership like 2 days ago. And besides that, I was just getting in like every time.
No way.
The guys in the front somehow knew me, and then eventually they're like, you need to get a membership. I was like, okay. I had a different gold membership. I didn't hear that. I had a different gold membership, so I had all these like free passes, but they ran out, but I was able to just kind of like
slide in there.
Talk my way in, but finally I was like, all right, I'll get a membership.
It's about who you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Just throw them a big smile, how can they say no?
That's great, man. That's great. Yeah, and I've only have been getting over there like once a week. I need to make more appearances.
It's so motivating, especially for me. I'm pretty deep in prep right now, so I'm 5 weeks out from the bikini show. I don't know if I said that.
That's huge.
But I'm at the point where I'm like, I need to work out with someone, or I need to work out near people that are going to keep me motivated and challenge me, because, my energy is, you might not think it, but it is starting to fade a little bit. So.
Are you cutting down your fats then?
Yeah, cutting down fats and carbs.
How many grams of fats are you at?
I'm at 40.
40
grams.
That's low.
Yeah.
That's real low.
On both my refeed day or my high carb days and my low carb days.
Wow.
Right now I'm 100 grams of carbs.
Really? Okay. That doesn't.
It doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
My body actually responds better with low fat and a little bit extra carb.
Okay.
Versus the opposite. So.
I'm like now on a higher fat diet, but it's not keto because I eat more than the recommended amount of carbs. But I still feel like I function better.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Everyone's body's different, right? You do better higher fat. I do better the opposite.
And I would like to, because my brain, I would drop down to 40-50 grams of fats a day for my shows, and I was just thinking going into a new one, what it would be like mentally doing a higher fat, low carb. I'm really curious.
Play around with it, see how your body responds. I was kind of playing around with mine too, and I realized when I had it was 90 grams of carbs, and higher fat, I could not do it. I was I'd rather go up. But it is kind of crazy. Your body adjusts and adapts so much, because I remember when my carbs were first cut, I was like, what the heck, my mind couldn't even think straight. But then your body adjusts. You go through a few hard days, and then you adapt, and then it's crazy. I don't know. You get used to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I wish I could stick to keto for like 2 weeks and just see what a true ketosis is, because some of those guys like rave about it. But 20 grams of carbs a day, like,
No. I think your friend Zach said he does that.
Zach? Nah, he couldn't even tell the truth.
I swear I thought you said that, but maybe not.
No, Zach, you don't do keto.
No.
That's great, man. Yeah, Zach's a cool kid. I had him on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a good time.
Yeah, Zach's a good time.
Yeah.
I was going to be in San Padre, I think that's how you call it, San Padre Island with them last week, but I got on the show The Young and the Restless, and well, I basically was going to just buy a new flight, but I had some issues getting the new flight. Like, they were giving me wrong dates. So it got to the like mid-end of the week. I was just like, I'm just gonna cut my losses. But that would have been a fun time.
Heck yeah!
But catch me on YNR CBS this week.
All right, I'm gonna have to go check that
out. She's gonna become a regular. That's so funny, man. All right, we touched on nutrition. We touched on your fitness journey and training. The diet and the 40 grams, man, that's tough because your brain is actually 100% like made out of fat. So that's one reason I wanted to try like a higher fat diet. I wanted to see if my brain would function better, and I think it really does. Memory and just retaining information. And being able to push through like a day, like when like the struggle starts to get real. But so what are you doing bikini then?
Yeah, bikini.
Okay.
Yep.
5 weeks out. You guys have to follow her, man.
I know. I'm so excited. It's on my birthday. So that was one reason why I did it. I'm turning 28, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk on that stage and be like, fuck yeah, best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Killing it. And then it's Cinco de Mayo, so I'm like, good margarita, let's celebrate.
That margarita is going to hit hard.
I know. I'll probably have one and be like drunk.
That's all you need, man.
Pretty much.
So it's down in San Diego. I'm sure you guys are going to have a blast that night, right?
Yeah, we're planning on... Well, actually, I said... So my show's that night, and then I want to go out for sure and get some food. But then I was like, I probably just want to chill, take it easy, because Cinco de Mayo was the next day, and I'd rather go to the beach, get a margarita, celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So I don't want to go too hard that night,
Yeah, you want to be able to wake up the next day.
Absolutely.
Because the fun and the activities start early.
Yes, I'm sure. Might get some brunch in too,
Yeah, so what is your favorite cheat meal, and will that cheat meal be your first meal after that competition?
Oh, heck yeah, it will. That night, I'm definitely going to be getting a burger and some sweet potato fries.
Okay.
It's going to be my meal.
I see you.
Also, absolutely love ice cream, but I am lactose intolerant, so it's got to be vegan ice cream.
Yeah.
But
or you could just take like a lactose pill, right? Or do they not work?
Well, first of all, I don't really like the idea of taking a pill to eat something. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of like not, but I don't know. I don't think I would risk it at this point. I haven't had any dairy in 6 months, and gluten has been about 4, so.
Wow, so you won't even have, you'll have some gluten with that burger, right? Unless they have a gluten-free bun.
Probably.
They probably have a gluten-free bun.
Yeah, I hope they will. Because
She's going to find the place with the gluten-free
I probably
bun.
will search for it. And make sure they have it ready for me. Because I do not want that lettuce bun, I need that real thing.
Yo, I did have what they call them, protein style. And granted, it was like a vegan patty because I follow a vegetarian diet. But wow, they used so much iceberg lettuce. It was actually like really, really refreshing and crunchy. And I was like, wow, they did it right, because like I've had it at like say In-N-Out and other places, and they'll put like 1 or 2 pieces on the top.
Yeah, and then it's just like soggy. And
it's just not enough. So hey, if you serve that in your menu, do it right.
Absolutely.
That's great, man. That's great. So, it just left me with something that was on the tip of my brain.
Well, while you're thinking about that, the best place with the best vegan ice cream is going to be Salt and Straw for sure.
Oh, okay. Right on the corner of McKinney. Right? Yeah.
I got it in January right before my prep started, and they had like all these vegan flavors for January, and I was in heaven. Like heaven.
I bet. I I took my parents there, right? And like me and my mom were just like, let's get some ice cream here. And my dad ends up ordering like a big fat like banana split. I'm like,
that
all right.
is by far, I think it's the best ice cream in the world. Like I've never had anything
I need to
compare.
go back. It's been a while.
It's so good. If you're ever in LA, you guys have to go to Salt and Straw.
And they kill it. They put
and they're so nice. Like they'll let you try every single flavor.
Yeah. And they put the ice cream shop across the street out of business. I think that was called Nice Ice, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they put them out of business, and they always have like a line, like
always
10, 20 yards out the door. It's insane. They hell of a business. And Abbot Kinney, like Abbot Kinney's Abbot Kinney.
Abbot Kinney is amazing.
I think I heard it per like square foot retail space. It's the most expensive street in the United States, even higher than like a huge one in New York.
Yeah, I believe it. And I heard it's ranked like top 10 coolest streets in the world.
No way, really?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's First Friday.
I believe it.
First Friday should be coming.
Oh yeah, it's always a fun time.
Yeah, all the major, or like at least the cool food trucks in LA come to Abbot Kinney. They post up from like
shut the street down, right? Or no?
No, they have shut the street down for like their Abbot Kinney festival.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
I was actually working at Abbot Kinney that week when that happened. It was crazy.
Oh,
so many people.
Yeah, and you can actually like, I remember going into a few shops and they even have like big like barrels basically of beer. Like you can't like technically drink on the street, but they used to on First Friday shut down the entire street. And my buddy said people would just drink freely in the middle of the street. But then like I guess more families and Venice becoming more gentrified, and little kids showing up, they started to crack down on that, and they only shut down the street for like larger like festival type music events. So hey, it's still a blast, and they always have killer food. Is there a particular food truck you go for?
Vegan ice cream.
Vegan ice cream? What was that?
They did have one, and it was really good.
Was it the green truck, and it had like a penguin or like a little bird?
Yeah.
I had that.
Yeah, I also tacos. I'm a taco. I eat tacos even now in my cut.
Yeah.
Every single day.
No way.
Every day I have tacos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually when I cut out gluten, that's one thing I
corn tortilla.
Totally up my burrito game, because tortillas don't have the gluten in it.
Yeah, corn tortillas every day. I even found the perfect one that one tortilla is 7 grams of carb. I've compared every single tortilla brand. Found the one with the lowest carbs.
Yeah.
And I like to put it in the toaster oven, make it like crispy, and then I spray some, I can't believe it's not butter spray, sprinkle some seasoning, and make my own chips. Homemade tortilla chips.
Okay, nice. I love
Pretty
that.
good.
Yeah, I've done that before, just like heating them up in the bag. They taste way better.
Yeah.
You get them like at the Mexican restaurant, they're always like heated up, or I don't know if they're actually made there or not, but yeah, way better to do it that way. See her like her California like Spanish sides coming out.
I do love tacos. Mexican food is so good.
What is your favorite just like say like, I guess it is tacos, like I mean, it's such a simple meal. I was gonna say what's your favorite thing to cook, but
I would say every day for the most part I eat tacos. I also eat eggs. I'm a huge egg white, egg yolk type of girl.
I like
love breakfast food.
Hard-boiled eggs, right?
Yeah, I would eat any type of egg, to be honest.
They're so easy. I like making a bunch of them and then just doing like 2 in my salad.
Oh, for sure. I also make, I feel like I always am making egg white waffles. Have you ever done that with protein powder?
I've seen pictures of these.
Okay, they're so good.
Oh, I saw yours on the story.
Yeah, it's the easiest recipe ever. You literally just take egg white waffles. I'm sorry, you literally just take egg whites, like in the carton, and then you like some protein powder, whatever flavor, mix that together, put in in the waffle maker, and you got yourself some waffles.
How similar would you say is the taste?
Well, obviously they're not as like fluffy, because they're literally, there's no carb in them, no fat usually. They're not as they're not as fluffy, but
And for me, I mean, I could add, some fats in there too.
Yeah,
so.
I like to add blueberry. I usually add blueberries in the mix, and then I top it with PB2 powder. I mix that with some water, and kind of make it my own like syrup. Pour that on top. Sometimes put a banana or some fruit.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's pretty good. When I wasn't in prep, I would sometimes put a scoop of Halo Top on there, and like really enjoy it.
I see you.
But yeah, they're so easy and like great macro hack. And
Halo Top is a protein-powered ice cream. If you
and they have dairy-free as well.
Dairy-free. Yeah, waffles, like, they're one of my favorites, but, like, I stopped buying them because I'd end up eating the whole box in a couple days, you know? It's, like, something I'd like to eat, like, once or twice a week, but then you want to have it every day.
Exactly. You need to try these egg white waffles, and you can have them every day, and they're...
Yeah. Any recommendations on a waffle press? Like,
I just had one from
Belgium.
No, I like the smaller one. Yeah. Like I got it from Amazon. It was like $25.
Okay, nice.
Just like Amazon when they
like 4 waffles at once.
Yeah, I usually do like 4 to 6 ounces of egg whites.
Yeah.
Which makes about 4 waffles. I would say.
Okay. Get it, Amazon's choice.
Yeah, Amazon's choice.
Actually, that's honestly been on my mind. I gotta get a waffle press.
You have.
Because a lot of times with food, it's actually about the texture, not so much like when you're tasting things, texture has a lot to do with it. So you're still getting that waffle type texture, right? Yeah. So this is something I gotta get on.
Yeah, I even got real creative the other day and just made I literally just put egg whites into the waffle machine, like nothing else, and it was just an egg white waffle. I topped it with some guac. I had salsa, some like sauteed veggies, and a real egg on top, and it was almost like this waffle omelet.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think a lot of it was the texture. Like I loved it.
I've heard of chicken waffles, and Meg just coined eggs and waffles.
Pretty much.
That's great. I was thinking even the unflavored Vital Proteins powder would be good.
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't want, say, like a
flavor,
maybe like a chocolate or vanilla flavor.
Yeah. I bet it would be great.
Yeah. So egg whites, the unflavored protein, and
top it with whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean the syrup is probably enough for and I would use butter for sure. So butter, syrup, like they're gonna taste amazing.
Heck yeah.
Dropping recipes on Stahl Studio. That's awesome. Well, that pretty much sums up, I think, everything I wanted to, kind of bring to my audience. Is there anything you wanted to touch on before I let you go?
Just, I would say, follow your dreams, go after them. Don't be scared, just do it, and
you heard it from her herself.
Live every day. Live every day to the fullest.
Check it out. Just do it.
I love it. Yes, just do it.
I love that quote, man. And it kind of goes off like resiliency and like perseverance. Like you might be like getting to that last task of the day, and you're like, but then like you have like a quote, like a affirmation right there in front of you, like just do it, or like the reason why you got started. Just like make that happen.
Go for it,
Get it done, so that way the next day you're on track and ready to crush another day.
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. I even tell my clients too. I'm like, start telling yourself positive things, even if you don't believe it. Like, just keep saying it, because eventually you're going to start believing it. You're going to start manifesting that positivity, and you're going to start feeling better.
And even just, like, force and smile.
Yeah, right?
It's proven.
Get outside, go for a walk, too. Yeah. That'll help.
Yeah. Well, Meg, it was great to have you on.
Yay, thanks so much for having me. I hope you guys got something out of that. And
Fit Little Meg on Instagram. Yes. Are you on YouTube as well?
I'm not.
No?
But maybe one day.
I think it's time we start that channel up. Yeah, a little Fit Little Meg podcast.
Yes, love it.
All right, guys. Well, we out here. Catch us maybe with a workout at Gold's Gym.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.